Good morning. It's been a while since I've done a video. I just kind of wanted to touch back and say hey to you guys and do another one. Some of my predictions are completely wrong, or at least haven't come to fruition yet. Like, I was pretty convinced we'd be smack dab in World War III right now, which we're on the fringe. If you look at some of the things that are happening with the East China Sea and with China and Taiwan, it's pretty obvious that China's going to make its move while this administration is in office, and they still have 2 years, unless the midterms slide back and the Republicans or an independent gets the House. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a Republican. I'm too poor, but I do think along a lot of the Republican mindsets. I believe that hard work and perseverance is something that every American should have the opportunity to do and should have the opportunity to come up with. And yes, I will admit that they have made it rather difficult in terms of fees and all that stuff for your average person to jump out there and start a business up. And, I know this from personal experience. I'd probably be the CEO of maybe not $1 billion company, because I don't really have that kind of, I don't want to say intelligence, because I'm pretty smart, but I don't have that kind of intelligence. I'm a decent manager. I'm a decent, I'm good at TO&E. I'm good at taking care of shit, but, and I know I'd run a good business, and the business that I have actually should start up here with luck if everything keeps going. Anyway, I think that we all should have a shot. All Americans should have a shot. And I think that if you come into this country illegally and you're seeking asylum, once it's been proven that you are seeking asylum and that you're not a criminal, that you are not affiliated with gangsters, that you're not a middle-class citizen of the country that you're coming from, because if you're a middle-class citizen of the country you're coming from, well, then you don't have no reason to seek asylum. You know what I mean? It's the poor people and the people that are persecuted by the gangs and shit that need to seek asylum. So that's just one of my personal views on the topic, and it's the law. So now we've got this administration, which I told you a long time ago was just going to destroy this country. As soon as you remember my earlier videos, I just went off about how Joe Biden and his administration were socialists, communists, and they're going to destroy the nation. And I am right. Am I? Okay. So let's just recap on what's been happening in the past few weeks here that I've been paying attention to, watching. Okay, so just the other day we had the Virginia governor elections, okay? And Youngkin, who is a Republican, won. And that's good, because Virginia was starting to become a shithole with the CRT and crime and all this other shit that was going on. And now, with luck, things will change over there. I'm not saying that just because a Republican's in office it's going to get any better or get any worse, but it probably won't get any worse. So we have Youngkin won in Virginia, and like usual, the left, the Democrats, he's racist. It's all boils down to racist now. So if they can't beat you, they can't compete with you, they just write you off as a racist. And we've been seeing this for, all year long. We've been seeing this. Racist, you're racist, you're racist, you're racist. Matter of fact, we've gotten so unracist in this country that we're allowing people of color to commit heinous crimes and walk out of jail and walk out of bail. In the past couple of weeks, there's been 5 or 6 different instances where some thug got let go, went out there and killed somebody. And he's back in jail now looking at murder charges. Come on, what the fuck? That's part of it. You got that kid, Simpkins, whatever the fuck his name is, the thug who couldn't be a thug. He tried to be a gangster and got his ass whooped. So he went and got a gun, went back to school, and shot the person tormenting him, but also shot 2 innocent people in the process. And he has become the first school shooter to get a bail. Do I think it's racially motivated? Absolutely. I think that because he's black, they went ahead and gave him bail and let him bail out. And they didn't make a huge deal out of it because he was black. Like, if there was another white guy or even a Mexican guy or an Asian guy, like we've already had, that did it, they would have been smeared up on the thing. It would have been this long thing about racism and bigotry and yada, yada, yada. But since he was black, he got bail. And I'm not racist. I never have been racist. Like, I'm a half fucking breed, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm lucky to be here in this country. I am very fucking lucky to be in this country. I could have been born in the Soviet Union and I'd be living in Russia right now, which, in all honesty, probably wouldn't be half as bad as the U.S. However, I am an American. This is my country and I love my country and I love my people. All right? And what I'm seeing happening here is really disturbing to myself and a lot of people that I know. This vaccine mandate crap, dude. It's like you're going to put millions upon millions of people out of work to try to save lives from something that you have less than a 1% chance of killing you from. I mean, that just does not make any fucking sense. Oh, so January 4th is the new deadline for this vaccine mandate. And I really wish they'd quit calling it a vaccine because it's not a fucking vaccine. It's gene therapy. They changed the name of the definition in the CDC to confuse and fool stupid people into thinking that it's a vaccine to run out and get it. And it's worked. I got to give it to them. It has really, really worked. And then you have another small percentage of people who got the jab just because they didn't want to lose their jobs and their livelihoods. And to me, that's not American. I think that we should have the freedom of choice. Now, if this thing came through and had a 20% mortality rate, and one out of every 5 people died from it or something, then I could understand the concern. Then I could understand people being like, oh my God, we have to do something about this. Like if smallpox came back, or some new disease that was literally killing 1 in 5 or 1 in 3 or even 1 in 10. You know what I mean? That would be an intense mortality rate. And at that point in time, I could understand an emergency vaccination order. An emergency treatment order, if you don't want to call it a vaccine, like I don't, because it's not a fucking vaccine. I wish people would quit calling it a fucking vaccine. When CDC changes the fucking definition of what a vaccine is to fit this current narrative, then come on, man. None of this shit adds up, people. It just blows me away, the fact that half of our country, if a little bit more than half of our country, have just bent over and taken it up the ass. Like, that's basically what I see. It's like, oh, well, I'm fucked anyway, so here, give me the jab and I'll work. I think that's medical tyranny. I think what we're doing is with this whole entire thing, do you know how much fucking money Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson have made this year? The amounts of profits are fucking astronomical. And it's all due because Joe Biden's sucking on their titty or vice versa. The only reason is money, guys. It's money. Yet people are still running out there. You got people stupid out there saying, oh my God, we got to get the vaccine because it's killing people. It's going to save people. Man, less than 1% of people on this planet so far have died from the vaccine. And ironically, in the past 2 months, the amount of people infected and going into the hospital has been dropping drastically. And it's not due to the vaccinations. The vaccinations don't stop you from getting fucking COVID. You still get it, you still spread it. Now they're talking that people who don't get the jab don't have a job January 1st. Along with paying illegal immigrants $449,000 apiece if they were separated from their family upon arrival, their illegal arrival into our country. $450,000 per person of your tax money, my tax money, that is meant to go to this country is going to be given to people who illegally came into our country. I don't get that. I don't understand that. The amount of money that this administration is planning on spending out and paying out to these illegal immigrants is enough for them to go back home if they really wanted to and really be fucking well off. I could use $450,000. You could use $450,000. I'm fucking sure of it. We all could use $450,000, but to pay it to motherfuckers that are breaking the law, Well, that's just Democratic fucking reasoning for you, dude. Like, I mean, it really shouldn't surprise you with all the shit going on, with all the crazy hecticness going on. That really shouldn't surprise you. However, it's happening. It's happening. I mean, prices are going up, inflation's going up. We already have hard freeze warnings, and it's not even like barely winter yet. It's still autumn, you know? Like, this winter's going to be rough. And it's dark. Joe Biden promised us all it's going to be a dark winter. So whether that means that they're going to fucking go through and start doing crazy shit, or it just means that we're all going to be cold and dark this winter, either way doesn't sound very pleasant. But I definitely am concerned about the state of our union, the state of our nation, as you should be too. Like, when I get on and I read about like these people who were, you know, in this Virginia voting thing, when they lost, they just brought the racism card back up. That seems to be the biggest fallback on everybody, especially if you happen to be white, is that you're racist, you're racist, you're racist. And that's it. Like, I mean, I've gotten on a couple times and asked somebody, like, you know, hey, name one thing that Joe Biden has done other than fuck this country up. Name one thing that Joe Biden has done other than make it easier for China and ISIS and every illegal immigrant who wants to come over into our country illegally just to step foot in this country. And I'm like, name one thing that he's done. And a couple people were like, oh, well, the Paris climate. It's like, dude, that just happened. 1, 2, he fell asleep in the middle of it. 3, he took like a 20-car convoy across the entire city to get there. How much fuel did that use? Like, serious. Like, I mean, the man is a fucking idiot, dude. And if you believe in this guy, you're a fucking idiot. And the problem that I foresee, that I see happening with these people, is it's literally, I never really thought that. Like, I don't know, it's hard to put into words, man. It's really hard. So people hate Trump so much. And this is obvious because all they do is talk about Trump. Trump. I don't like Trump. I never did. The guy's a fucking asshole. However, what he did for our country was, I gotta admit, good. What this administration has done for our country is not good in the least. Not if you're an American. Not if you're a fucking Chinese guy, or if you're a member of ISIS, you know, and you got yourself a brand new assault rifle and a tank, you know, or if you're one of the many hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants that are now sitting there going, oh, goody, we get $500,000. What the fuck? You're going to give them $500,000 fucking dollars. They're going to come in here. They're going to start buying up properties. They're going to start buying fucking nice cars, driving around in nice brand new fucking cars, living in houses, while you and I are driving in our pieces of shit, struggling to fucking put gas in them, struggling to get to work. And on January 1st, we may not even have fucking work left. Yet these motherfuckers are going to get paid to come in here? Wake up. It's the end of our fucking country as we know it, folks. Like, that's just, it blows me away. So, let's just say that, like, they pay out, let's just do the numbers easy, because I suck at math. So 100,000 illegal immigrants times $450,000 equals enough to give every American in this country a $10,000 fucking check. Stimulus, if you would. Let that sink in. 10 grand. I could use 10 grand. I mean, I could use 450 grand, but 10 grand would improve my quality of life drastically. Like, oh my God, would it improve my quality of life? If I had 10 grand right now in my pocket, I wouldn't be worried about scraping my money up for my transmission. You see that? Those $100 bills? Yeah, okay. That's all for my transmission. That is everything that I saved up this year from working my ass off and paying higher and higher costs of living, to the point now where I have $9 left in my name. After working all summer, like, I'm done. I had to send my truck in to get a new transmission, and luckily it's not costing too much, but it's costing everything that I've saved. How many of us are in that same position right now where it's like, you know, we have to pick and choose about what we're going to buy, what we're going to pay, what bills. Like, I'm going to be $500 in debt on my credit card after this is all said and done. I'm going to have to go out there on my way out west for my winter time, yeah, which I spent all my money I was going to go out and play all winter. I'm postponing my trip to Hawaii because I don't have any fucking money. I'm going to have to go out there, and in the next month, I'm going to have to make $500 fucking dollars and put it back into my credit card. Because if I don't, well, you know, my credit will be affected, and they'll cancel out my credit card and shit. Oh, it's just, it blows me away, guys. It blows me away. Need to wake up. We need to stand up. We need to fucking forcibly remove these people out of our offices. We need to get rid of these fucking Democratic idiots that are killing your cities. I mean, look at LA, look at Seattle, look at New York, look at Chicago, look at Philadelphia. They just making it easier for people that want to live a life of crime to do so. And I'm almost to that point where I don't feel like working is going to be my best option at this point. I'm really thinking that maybe I should jump in and start smuggling fucking illegal immigrants across the border, and that's no bullshit, you know? I mean, I know Arizona and New Mexico like the back of my fucking hand. I know the border region like the back of my hand. All I have to do is get them over and leave them, and I'll go back into Mexico, and they can't do shit. You know, $10,000 a head, $16,000 a head, something like that. I forget the exact number. But I'll tell you what, dude, I bring in fucking 10 immigrants, dude, and there's fucking $100,000 for me, right? And I can do that in a few days. So, I mean, in all honesty, dude, like with this mandate coming in and forcing people out of their jobs, forcing people out of their homes is just going to lead to a rash of crime. When honest guys like me and you have no other means of making any kind of ends meet except for to become criminals. Whether it's selling drugs, pot, or going out there and actively fucking being a pirate and robbing people. I would have a hard time actually robbing somebody, I think. Like, I would really have a hard time walking up and putting a weapon in front of somebody and saying, give me your shit. It goes against everything that I know. And I probably wouldn't rob people. That's just not smart. It's not stupid. You come across someone like me who is usually prepared for that kind of shit and get my ass shot. However, most of you who have boats don't fucking go to your boat every day. And I could make a pretty lucrative living off of pirating outboards and pirating all of your nav equipment. I mean, I could get into a boat and have it stripped out of there in an hour. And I go into the boat and at 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, on a dark, cold night where it's rainy or foggy and no one can see or hear, and I could rob your boat blind in an hour. Get everything I need, including the little nicks and knacks that you may have left in there that you enjoy. And that's not me. That's really not me. But if it comes down to it, dude, my survival is very important. And naturally, I'm going to try to survive. It's just, I'm not one of those kinds of people that are going to be like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to roll over and die right here. I'm not a fucking fruitcake. So you just keep that in mind. Like, when honest veterans like myself are going to ponder becoming super criminals because we have no other way to make our ends meet, you know shit's bad. You know it's bad. Like, I go to fucking San Diego or LA, spend 2 or 3 nights pirating outboards off the back of boats, put 10 outboards, sell those fuckers to Mexico. Now, I could sell them for $200-$300 a piece down there, yeah. And it's not as much as I can get up here, but ain't nobody gonna fucking find them. Ain't nobody gonna bust me for selling stolen outboards in Mexico. Mexico don't give a fuck. Hell, the cartel will probably buy them from me. I mean, I've got enough hours in helicopters where I'm confident that I could fly a helicopter once I got back into it and got another couple days behind the stick, or I should say the Cyclic and the Collective. I'm pretty confident that I could fly helicopters. Maybe I should go fly helicopters for the cartel. You know, maybe I should start flying drug runs and dropping drugs into this country. Since everybody seems to want to do them anyway, I might as well fucking get in line and line my pockets with them, right? I mean, they're making it almost impossible to make an honest living in any other way, you know. I really don't know what to do, and that freaks me out. Like, I mean, I'm going to continue doing what I do anyway. I'm going to head out to Arizona. I'm going to enjoy my time out there. I'm going to dig up rocks and go to the gem shows and see my friends and my family. But, like, when the shit does hit the fan, it's going to be really ugly for a lot of people out there. It's going to be really nasty for many of us out there who have conscience, who have like the ability to distinguish from right from wrong. And we know stealing's wrong. I know that robbing people's wrong. We all know this. But when there's no other choice except for to roll over and die, well, what the fuck do you expect people to do? I mean, like, I ain't gonna roll over and die. I'm not just gonna fucking give up. And I sure as hell ain't gonna go turn myself into some fucking camp or nothing like half of the fucking country would. I'm gonna become a thief. I won't beg. I won't. I will not get on my knees. I will not ask people for shit. And if you hand something to me, dude, you know, I've always told my friends, you know, like, I'll never fucking beg. I'll never spange. I'll never fly a sign. I'll never, you know, do bum stuff. Because I've always had my money. I've always been able to come up with cash. I sell rocks and minerals, make jewelry, silver. Yeah, I usually travel with a lot of material. So I've always, and as human beings, we all like shiny stuff, right? So I've always got my fallback, you know. But making $20, $30 a day before you get shut down and run out by the cops isn't enough to survive upon. And if it gets much worse than this, well, then I'm going to have to take drastic steps for my survival, you know. And I mean, if you really think about how many other people out there are thinking the very same thing, you know, either looking at their wife or their husband and going, damn, honey, we ain't got no money. What are we going to do? Well, what can you do? You can go take it. You can go beg for it. You can go request assistance from the government. But since you're not an illegal immigrant, you're not going to get shit. Since you're not black, you're not going to get shit. Since you're not Hispanic, you're not going to get shit. Face it, as white people in our own country anymore, we are now the pariah. We are now being pushed on the outer fringes of what we're doing. And I'm not no white supremacist. That's fucking stupid. That shit's fucking retarded. But what I am is a realist. And what I see is an attack on Caucasian people, especially in this country. It's gotten bad, people. It's just gotten bad. And I'm kind of losing my train of thought. It's still a little early here yet. I turned on my morning news for my morning cup of coffee, and the shit that I'm seeing on there is just blows my fucking mind. Anyway, I don't want to keep rambling on here. I appreciate you guys subscribing to my show. I know I'm a little intense, and I know I kind of ramble on, but like, if you actually take and piece together what I say, and most everything that I say, every now and then there's something that comes out of me that's like an opinion, but you can back up, I can back up everything that I've said to you through small amounts of research, even in this new censored era of the internet. So you go ahead and research those things and see if, see if it makes sense to you. I do appreciate your comments down there, guys. I appreciate your subscriptions. I'm not really doing anything with it. It's just nice to know maybe that other people share this frame of thought. Well, let's go, Brandon. You guys have a good day out there. Adios.